Welcome grade 12 students. In this turn, we will talk about two chapters, chapter 22 about hydrocarbon compounds. In the first lesson, we will talk about hydrocarbons. What the meaning of hydrocarbons? In the objective here, we have to define the hydrocarbons and know the different types of hydrocarbons. Before we start, we have to ask ourselves, why does a carbon atom form 4 covalent bonds? The simplest organic compounds are called hydrocarbons. From the name, hydro meaning hydrogen and carbon meaning carbon. So the hydrocarbon is an organic compound that contains only carbon and hydrogen. So the two simplest hydrocarbons are methane and ethane. Methane is the major component of natural gas, CH4. So it contains 1 carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atoms, as we see. So again, a carbon atom have 4 valence electrons because it ends with 2 and 4. It has 6 electrons, and hydrogen atom has only 1 valence electron. So a carbon atom can form a single covalent bond with 4 hydrogen atoms. As we see here, carbon atom has 4 valence electron, 4 valence electrons, and hydrogen atoms, 4 hydrogen atom, each one has 1 valence electron. So it will form 4 single bonds here. So the answer why carbon form 4 single covalent bonds, because it has 4 valence electron and carbon atom always form, so it forms 4 covalent bonds. Methane is not atypical for the vast majority of the organic compounds because this isn't a bond between a carbon atoms in methane, only 1 carbon atom, so it has only 1 bond from each carbon atom. So there is a carbon-carbon bond in ethane. Ethane has 2 carbon atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms. So the ability of carbon to form stable carbon-carbon bond is one reason that carbon can form so many different compounds that we call it hydrocarbons. And the table below here showing the structure of formulas, ball and stick, that mean ball and stick models, and spacing filling models for the methane and ethane, CH4 and C2H6. The properties of hydrocarbons: the electron pair in carbon hydrogen or a carbon-carbon bond is shared almost equally by the nuclei of the atoms forming the bond. Thus, the hydrocarbons are non-polar molecules. Both of them are non-polar covalent bonds, so the attraction between the non-polar molecules are weak van der Waals forces, and hydrocarbons with low molar masses tend to be gases, so the form of hydrocarbon, most of it gases or liquids that boil at low temperature. We have a rule here, the general rule. We have to save it: like dissolves like. What the meaning of that? Like dissolves like, that means that a non-polar compound and a polar compound will not form a solution, but non-polar compound can dissolve another non-polar compound. Like that, here we have example water with oil. So oil will not dissolve, will not mix with oil, and so on. For example, here we have oil is a mixture of hydrocarbons, so oil and water don't mix. So we have a question here. You have to think, what types of compounds are included in the study of organic chemistry? For sure, organic chemistry includes the chemistry of all the carbon compounds, regardless whether they are synthesized by living organisms or from inorganic substances. Thank you for listening. This is our first lesson about hydrocarbons.